Narrator. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast's Intermediate Guide series. Today we're setting our sights on a wonderfully social, yet sometimes surprisingly complex, aspect of cultural interaction: understanding and participating in group dinners. From casual gatherings with friends to formal business meals, dining together is a cornerstone of human connection across nearly every culture. However, the seemingly simple act of sharing a meal involves a subtle dance of social cues, etiquette, and conversational dynamics that can be challenging to navigate, especially in a new cultural context. How do you gracefully join a table of strangers or new acquaintances, contribute to the conversation without dominating, and observe the unwritten rules of table manners? What are the key verbal and nonverbal signals to look for regarding ordering, serving, and even ending the meal? And crucially, how do you ensure you're a considerate and engaging participant, making everyone at the table feel comfortable and included? This episode is designed to equip you with the essential vocabulary, cultural insights, and practical strategies necessary to approach group dinners with confidence, enjoyment, and social finesse. Today's discussion moves beyond just ordering food, delving into the nuances of host-guest dynamics, conversational flow, and cross-cultural dining customs. We are privileged to host a conversation between Dr. Clara Jenkins, a leading sociologist specializing in social rituals and etiquette, and Chef Antoine Dubois, an internationally renowned culinary expert and restaurateur, who has hosted countless diverse groups at his celebrated restaurant, The Gilded Spoon, located on MG Road in Fateper. Their dialogue will illuminate the unspoken rules and universal joys of communal dining, offering you a richer understanding of how to make every group dinner a successful and memorable experience. So, let's explore the intricacies and convivialities of truly mastering the group dinner. Clara, Antoine, it's a genuine pleasure to finally connect with you. Your restaurant, The Gilded Spoon, is renowned not just for its exquisite cuisine, but also for fostering such a welcoming and vibrant atmosphere for group dining. From your unique vantage point, observing countless group dinners, what are your initial, most striking impressions regarding the overall dynamics? Do you immediately pick up on the unspoken social hierarchies or the energy flow at a table? Antoine, Clara, the pleasure is entirely mine. Your academic insights into social rituals profoundly inform the atmosphere we strive to create at The Gilded Spoon. When I observe group dinners, my initial impression is often about the collective energy and table cohesion. You can quickly sense if a group is relaxed and familiar, or more formal and guarded. I definitely pick up on the subtle cues of social hierarchy: who initiates conversation, who defers, who takes on a de facto host role, or who seems to be the central figure. There's a palpable rhythm to how dishes are shared, how wine is poured, and how laughter echoes around the table. It's like watching a mini society in microcosm with its own unwritten rules and flow. Do you find that a lack of awareness of these underlying dynamics is a common source of discomfort for individuals in group settings? Clara, absolutely, Antoine. Your observation of collective energy and table cohesion is spot on. A lack of awareness of these underlying dynamics is indeed one of the most common sources of discomfort, leading to awkward silences, conversational missteps, or even unintentional breaches of etiquette. Individuals might feel unsure when to speak, how to offer food, or when it's appropriate to take a larger portion. My research highlights that understanding the host-guest dynamic, the purpose of the gathering, e.g., celebration, business, casual catch-up, and the general cultural context are unequivocally fundamental to navigating these situations gracefully. What specific strategies do you advise for individuals to gracefully integrate themselves into a group dinner, especially when they might be new to the group or the culture? Antoine, that's where active participation coupled with careful observation becomes paramount, Clara. My primary strategy for individuals integrating into a new group dinner involves a blend of respectful observation and subtle engagement. First, I always suggest observing the flow before diving in. Watch how others interact. Is the conversation rapid-fire or more reflective? Do people talk over each other playfully, or is there a strict turn-taking? This helps gauge the conversational tempo. Second, make an effort to greet everyone individually if possible, especially the host. A genuine smile and a brief, polite introduction can go a long way. Third, contribute by asking open-ended questions that invite broader participation, rather than just talking about yourself. For instance, what brings everyone here tonight? Or, Has anyone tried this dish before? Fourth, be mindful of table etiquette. Wait to be seated. Don't start eating until others have, and understand the general use of cutlery. Finally, offer to assist the host discreetly, perhaps by helping with drinks or clearing a small item, but only if it feels genuinely helpful and not intrusive. Do you find that individuals often misinterpret the role of the host, particularly regarding offering assistance or taking initiative at the table? Clara. Excellent advice, Antoine, particularly the emphasis on observation and open-ended questions. And yes, misinterpreting the host's role is a frequent point of confusion. Many guests, intending to be polite, might become overly passive, waiting to be served or explicitly told what to do, which can inadvertently make more work for the host. Conversely, some might become overly zealous in helping, potentially disrupting the host's flow. My research indicates that a key is proactive, respectful inquiry. For instance, a subtle, "Is there anything I can help with?" offered discreetly, allows the host to accept or decline gracefully. Understanding cultural nuances here is vital. In some cultures, guests are expected to be served entirely, while in others, light assistance is appreciated. What are the key nonverbal cues that signal the start, flow, and eventual end of a group dinner, especially regarding food service and conversation? Antoine. Clara, your point on proactive, respectful inquiry is beautifully put. Nonverbal cues are indeed the unspoken language of the dinner table. The start of a dinner is often signaled by the host motioning to seats or explicitly inviting everyone to sit, and often by the first serving of bread or appetizers. The unveiling of the main course is a clear signal that the primary eating phase has begun, and conversation often shifts to focus on the food itself, with sounds of cutlery and shared enjoyment becoming prominent. The flow of the meal is indicated by the rhythm of dishes arriving and being cleared, and how guests are participating in sharing plates or refilling glasses. As for the end, it's often subtle. The clearing of all main dishes, the offer of dessert or coffee, or the host placing their napkin on the table after finishing. Conversation might become less food-focused and more general, perhaps shifting to future plans or goodbyes. The host making a move to stand or gathering their personal belongings is usually the strongest nonverbal cue that the dinner is concluding. Do you observe different cultural patterns in how personal space is maintained or how food is shared at a group dinner? Clara. Antoine, your insights on these nonverbal cues are incredibly astute. They're the invisible choreography of a successful meal. And yes, cultural patterns around personal space and food sharing are immensely varied and often a source of significant cultural learning. In some cultures, particularly those with a strong emphasis on collectivism or communal dining, dishes are placed in the center of the table for everyone to share from, signifying unity and abundance. Personal space around the table might be tighter, reflecting a greater comfort with physical proximity. The act of offering food to others, ensuring everyone has enough, is a profound gesture of hospitality. In contrast, in more individualistic cultures, individual plates are more common, and while sharing might occur, it's often more intentional or less pervasive. Personal space might be more sacrosanct, with a greater distance maintained between diners. Even the way a dish is portioned, whether it's served by the host, passed around, or self-served, can carry significant cultural weight. How do individuals manage to contribute meaningfully to the conversation at a lively group dinner without either dominating or being completely overshadowed? Antoine, that's the delicate balance, Clara, the art of the conversational sweet spot. The key is often active listening combined with strategic participation. For contributing without dominating, individuals should focus on asking engaging questions that broaden the discussion or invite others to share their perspectives, rather than solely offering their own opinions. Timing is also crucial. Waiting for a natural pause in the conversation or building on someone else's point demonstrates respect and thoughtful engagement. Using phrases like, "That reminds me," or "on a related note," can provide smooth transitions. To avoid being overshadowed, one can employ subtle body language, making eye contact with the speaker, nodding in agreement, and having an open posture. When you do speak, be concise and clear, making your point efficiently. If the conversation moves very quickly, finding a single individual and engaging them briefly in a side conversation can also be a way to participate without needing to jump into the main rapid-fire exchange. Do you find that humor, when used appropriately, is a universal tool for enhancing group dinner dynamics, or can it be culturally nuanced? Clara. Antoine, your advice on the conversational sweet spot is invaluable, especially the emphasis on active listening and strategic timing. Regarding humor, it is indeed a double-edged sword at the dinner table. While humor, particularly light-hearted self-deprecation or observational wit, can be a universal social lubricant that fosters rapport and collective enjoyment, its specific manifestations are profoundly culturally nuanced. What is considered funny, sarcastic, or appropriate in one culture might be offensive, confusing, or simply not understood in another. Topics that are permissible for humor vary widely. For instance, political satire might be welcomed in some contexts but highly taboo in others. Even the style of humor, dry wit versus slapstick or irony versus direct jokes, differs. Therefore, while embracing a generally convivial and positive demeanor, individuals should exercise significant cultural sensitivity with humor, often testing the waters with mild, universal observations before attempting more specific or culturally loaded jokes. Observing the group's reactions to others' humor is a good indicator. How vital is the practice of mindful eating and showing appreciation at a group dinner, and what are the subtle ways this can be conveyed? Antoine. Clara, your caution regarding humor's cultural nuances is absolutely paramount. Mindful eating and showing appreciation are not just vital. They are, in my view, foundational pillars of hospitality and social grace at any group dinner. When guests eat mindfully, savoring each bite, it signals respect for the food, the cook, and the effort involved. This isn't about eating slowly but rather engaging with the meal. Subtle ways to convey this include 1. Genuine compliments. Expressing appreciation for specific dishes. This biryani is wonderfully fragrant. Or, the paneer butter masala is truly exquisite. 2. Clean plates, where appropriate, finishing your portion without overeating indicates enjoyment. 3. Positive facial expressions. A contented smile or a look of enjoyment. 4. Engaging with the host/cook. Asking questions about the ingredients or preparation if it feels natural. 5. Acknowledging shared food. If someone serves you a simple thank you or that looks delicious. 6. Pacing yourself, not rushing through your meal, allowing others to enjoy theirs. 7. Offering a toast. If appropriate, a brief, heartfelt toast to the host or the occasion. These small gestures create a palpable atmosphere of warmth and appreciation. From your sociological perspective, how does the act of communal dining contribute to the strengthening of social bonds and the building of community? Clara. Antoine, your list of ways to convey appreciation is a masterclass in dining etiquette. It beautifully illustrates the power of subtle signals. From a sociological standpoint, the act of communal dining is an incredibly potent ritual for strengthening social bonds and building community. It's not just about sustenance. It's a profound act of shared vulnerability and mutual trust. Breaking bread together lowers psychological barriers, fostering an environment of relaxation and openness. The shared experience of taste, smell, and conversation creates collective memories and reinforces a sense of belonging. The passing of dishes, the offering of seconds, and the shared laughter all contribute to a feeling of interdependence and solidarity. It's a space where formal roles often soften, allowing for more authentic personal connections. Moreover, the rituals around dining, from setting the table to the shared cleanup, can reinforce shared values and group identity. It transcends mere interaction. It's a powerful cultural adhesive that transforms a collection of individuals into a cohesive unit. In your culinary experiences, have you observed situations where group dinners have successfully bridged significant cultural or social divides? Antoine. Clara, your description of communal dining as a powerful cultural adhesive is beautifully resonant with my observations. Absolutely, I've had the immense privilege of witnessing group dinners at the Gilded Spoon successfully bridge significant cultural and social divides. We've hosted diplomatic delegations from vastly different political systems who, over the course of a meal, moved from guarded formalities to genuine laughter and mutual respect, finding common ground through shared culinary enjoyment. I've seen business rivals soften their stances over dessert. We've also organized community dinners for new immigrants, where the shared preparation and consumption of traditional dishes from various homelands created immediate bonds and fostered an incredible sense of belonging among people who were strangers just hours before. The shared vulnerability, as you mentioned, and the universal pleasure of good food seem to dissolve initial apprehension. Food, quite simply, is a universal language of hospitality and peace, allowing people to connect on a fundamental human level before engaging with differences. It provides a non-threatening, sensory-rich context for connection. In your final analysis, what are the most common pitfalls individuals should strive to avoid at a group dinner to ensure a positive experience for all? Clara, Antoine, your experiences at The Gilded Spoon truly exemplify the transformative power of communal dining. In my final analysis, the most common pitfalls individuals should strive to avoid at a group dinner boil down to a lack of situational awareness and empathy. 1. Dominating the conversation. Talking too much, interrupting others, or steering the discussion constantly back to oneself. 2. Ignoring social cues. Failing to notice when someone wants to speak, when the host is ready to clear plates, or when others are trying to join the conversation. 3. Being glued to devices. Constant phone checking sends a strong signal of disinterest and disrespect. 4. Over-criticizing food or service. While constructive feedback might be fine in certain contexts, a dinner party or a public restaurant setting with a group is not the place for overly negative or disruptive comments. 5. Excessive drinking. Impaired judgment can lead to social blunders, inappropriate comments, or making others uncomfortable. 6. Neglecting the host/guests. Failing to acknowledge the host's effort or engage with those around you, especially quieter members. 7. Arriving late without communication. Disrupts the flow and can be disrespectful of others' time. 8. Being a food hog. Taking disproportionately large portions, especially from shared dishes. 9. Bringing up controversial topics unprompted. Politics, religion, or other highly divisive subjects can quickly derail a convivial atmosphere. Avoiding these pitfalls requires a conscious effort to be present, considerate, and to prioritize the collective enjoyment of the group. Narrator. What an exceptionally insightful and practical conversation with Dr. Clara Jenkins and Chef Antoine Dubois. Their expert perspectives have beautifully illuminated the multifaceted world of group dinners, from the subtle dynamics of table cohesion to the profound role of food in bridging divides. We've gained invaluable insights into gracefully integrating into a new group, interpreting nonverbal cues, contributing to conversation, and showing appreciation. Their discussion powerfully underscores that a successful group dinner is an intricate dance of social awareness, empathy, and respectful engagement, transforming a simple meal into a memorable shared experience. Now, let's consolidate some of the key vocabulary and concepts from their rich dialogue that you can integrate into your own social interactions. Practice session. Expressing yourself. Let's revisit some valuable phrases and concepts from today's in-depth episode. Practice using these in your own descriptions of social gatherings. Collective energy. The overall feeling or vibe of a group. Table cohesion. How well a group interacts and feels connected at a dining table. Unwritten rules. Implicit social norms or expectations that are not explicitly stated. Conversational tempo. The speed and rhythm of how people talk in a group. Open-ended questions. Questions that encourage more than a yes or no answer, inviting broader discussion. Proactive, respectful inquiry. Asking for clarification or offering help in a polite, considerate way. Social lubricant. Something that helps social interactions flow more smoothly, e.g., humor, a shared drink. Cultural sensitivity. Being aware of and respectful of cultural differences. Mindful eating. Paying attention to the food and the experience of eating. Powerful cultural adhesive. Something that strongly binds a group or community together. Choose 3 of these phrases and describe a past or imagined group dinner experience. For example, at the last family dinner, the collective energy was very warm, and everyone contributed to the conversational tempo nicely. My aunt always asks open-ended questions to make sure everyone feels included. Narrator. As Dr. Clara Jenkins and Chef Antoine Dubois so eloquently articulated, understanding and participating in group dinners is a nuanced yet incredibly rewarding skill. It's about more than just table manners. It's about fostering connection, building rapport, and creating shared joyous memories. By actively observing, engaging thoughtfully, and showing genuine appreciation, you can transform any group meal into an opportunity for rich cultural exchange and deepened relationships. This skill is invaluable for anyone looking to confidently navigate social settings and build bridges with people from all walks of life. Until our next insightful discussion on the English Learning Podcast, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep savoring those wonderful moments of shared meals.